I don't know if you heard the news, but if you haven't, head over to the website and check it out. So today, basically last episode, we finished the game, and in this stream I'm gonna go back to the full thing and start polishing. So as I said in the previous episode, the best way to fix the small details to save time basically is to grab a piece of paper and leave some space and play the game. And while you play, everything you see that is faulty or needs something, just write it down, and when you're done, then just take each one of these elements in the checklist and try to fix it. Alright, so first we have to set the character to start at the beginning. So let's see where he is. Alright, so we're just before the raid section. We'll grab the player and move it to the beginning. Our trigger zone, and alright, so first I'm gonna polish this part, the prison room. Hey Grace, how's it going? Yeah, I'm cool. I'm policing the game today. Just trying to find any flaws with the game. I already spotted a few. Later in the game there are more. How about you? Hmm. So I have this achievement set up. I totally forgot about it. Alright. think that's it for the first try. So since here you cannot grab any torch, I cannot go any further because I haven't coded it right. And let's start fixing stuff. So I've made a list of 3, 6, 9, 13 items to fix. So let's start fixing stuff. So the first is there's a blink sound in the beginning of the level which is not wanted, so I will try to fix that first. And that sound comes from the blinking animation, which is here. Actually, sorry, it doesn't come from that. It comes from the fact that the player has a sound when he touches the ground for some reason. Yeah. Yeah, this guy. So this is what we hear when the game starts, and we want to reduce this only when he jumps. So in order to do that, we'll say create a boolean called jump. Alright, and in order to have this not play the beginning of the game, because the character doesn't jump, so it plays this sound, I will use this logic here and say not jump, but then I'll say here jump is changed, and this will not work in the beginning of the game, because jump changed means that it switches from true to false, or from false to true, which doesn't happen in the game because it starts as false. So only when you go here you jump and then you're no longer jumping, then you will hear this sound. And also I don't need a starter tutorial anymore because change only works for one iteration. Alright, so we don't need it here anymore. Or we do need an else, and jump equals false. And in the beginning of the game, hey Daggerpire, how's it going? In the beginning of the game, jump it will be false already, so this will not count as changing the jump. So if I got this right, we should not hear any sound when the game starts now. See? So now there's no sound, which is good because every good game should start with no leftover sounds from somewhere. Alright, so we cross the line of the first element, and the second one is that we need the sound when we're standing up, and that also counts for the second time we stand up, which was when we got hit by the girl. So we need to find the sound. So let's experiment with sounds. Let's see what we can use as a standing up sound. I think plant sounds are really cool for things like that. this can be used, but as an intermediate sound. Don't be afraid to use text for various things. For example, I can say mood equals to create a text, say intermediate. Oh my god. Action. So I'm setting what I think this sound is, so I remember later on. So it's something that is useful for later on if you're building sound galleries and you don't want to search the full prop gallery for specific sounds. You just do moods and then you add every sound effect to the mood you want. So now we need something that looks like the character is just dragging his clothes or just lifting from the ground. So I think there was a good one called Seed, maybe? Nah, that looks like a pants. Let's try material. That's a really good one. This is totally like the player standing up. So this is applying force, and we need just another one just to fill the whole standing up animation. I don't know, maybe let's try material again. It's very useful sounds there. It's hidden. Applying force number 2, and I will also add one more for the dust that comes out, because I heard it a second ago and it looks good. This one. Alright, so now we grab all this here. It is the standing up animation. It's funny that I haven't used Bates names in this one. Let's see where he stands up. That's where he stands up. Alright, so I'm gonna paste here. Now this needs a meter to work, and by meter I mean frame meter. So I'm gonna create one. And what I'm gonna do is have a debug counter increment by 1 every frame, and then I'm gonna display it. I'm going to display it in the center of the screen because it's closer to what I will be seeing. And now we need to test, and while testing I'm just gonna note down the numbers that I see will be useful for standing up animation sound. because it's kind of a long cutscene, so it will take us a lot of time to debug it and have the sound effects on the right spot, and do it multiple times by trial and error, so it's easier to do it like this. Alright, so now you will see the debug counter working, and let's go. Alright, got the times. So the times are 75, 130, 190 and 250. That's the 4 times we need. So now we go back. Actually, we don't need this guy anymore. We can go back to this guy here. And I know that this will not work exactly as expected if the game lags, but even if it lags, it will still play at the time I set it here. The only thing that doesn't play good if it lags is the Kinect audio. Anyhow, okay, so 75. 75 is a number, and then say in frames. Okay, so this intermediate action. Alright, I'm gonna use this guy first. Use starter tile. Then 130 frames. 30 frames. Use the second one. The third one. And lastly, the position where the dust will play. Don't expect me to get it right from the first time. This is just an easy way to apply the sounds straight away. It doesn't mean I have it playing perfectly, you know. So let's test now and see how it looks. Hopefully it will be in place and we can get it right the first time. That would be the best case scenario. Alright, so what I've noticed is that all the sounds were correct, except the third one needed a bit more duration because it was like a small impact sound, and then the guy was just moving. So maybe we need the first sound to play twice instead of having the intermediate action play. Okay, so this third sound was in 190, this guy. So it's biome object spawn plant small. So I used it twice. Alright, let's see. Material console rustling. See what else we can find with plants. That's the only one. Let's see what else. Now I've got to thinking, what if I use this here and then grab this and use this here? I'll have to wait, unfortunately. Yeah, I think I'll do. Alright. So we cross that out of our list, but before we do that, I noted down that since we have 2 times that this guy stands up, I am going to do a copy. I'm going to copy this and paste it to the other one as well. Alright, so it's like, alright, so it's this guy here. That's a quick method to copy stuff. And this method to copy stuff is to embed everything into one line and then copy that line. So I'm gonna go to, I think it was somewhere here. That's the running part. Yeah, I think it's here. Oh no, it's not here. This is where it falls. this where he wakes up. Alright, so it's this one. Oh no, so the other logic cube handles the logic fine. Alright, so all I have to do is find the base modifier. There we go. So it's exactly like the other one. After 3 seconds it does that, and after 13 seconds it does whatever it does. Alright, so that's done. So we cross that out of our list. Next one is key collision makes blocks. Alright, so basically as soon as I grabbed the key before when I was playing, there was it was kind of hard, so I had to like do it precisely to grab it. So I want to fix that and make it very easy to grab if you're looking at it, because it's a key item and everybody will get past this point. So for that specifically I will create a you know what, maybe I'll do a thin rectangle. Oh, can't get small, forgot. Alright, so let's do this guy. So instead of having the key be the collision box, I'm just gonna add an invisible primitive cube, and let's see what it has here. Alright, so it destroys itself, so I can simply attach this here and copy all the logic into this cube. Alright. So now this will make things easier. Let's test it very quick. Yeah, as you can see, it's very easy now. No need to get it precisely. Alright. Next one is yeah, so there is a small like bug in the game. So when you interact with something, and when that text duration plays, if you interact with something else, it changes the pace and text on the fly, which means that if you're in the end of one text and you go into another one, it may stop the text from playing. So I'm gonna go ahead and fix that. This is this guy. So it's a simple mechanic. It says when the create message is triggered, then it plays the pop-up sound of the message and it shows the message along with the message that I've wanted, and then after the duration of set, it just turns it off. So what I'm gonna do here is add everything into a line, and say not global duration of message changed. And that means that if it does change, so for example I am in a 5-second text message, and then I press another one which is a 7-second message, and that will reset this line here, so it will play again and this countdown will reset as well. So it will pop up again, will make the sound, and everything will be cool. And the reason I did this is because I cannot track a change in a text variable. because it's not possible. It doesn't have the changed tile for text messages. So I just track the duration time, and it's very seldom that you interact with something that has the same duration as something else. So that's it. Alright, let's make a quick test to ensure this works. Okay, let's find something. See, now it reset. It will. If I press again the same thing, it won't reset because it's the same duration. But if I press two things at the same time, it's. I don't think if I have something here. Alright, so I have this guy and the key. So I'll press this guy first, and then key. See, it reset. It made a cool sound as well. Alright, so that's done. Add progression info for papers. Should I do that? Should I not do that? What do you guys think? Should I add progression info for papers? So for example, there's an achievement if you get all 5 papers, but to make it easy for you to find every paper in the game, I was thinking if you get one, then it says 1 out of 5 papers found, and it tracks that every time you get a paper. So should I do that? Should I not do that? What do you think? I must have. Ah, there we go. Achievements. Okay, so I can simply say clues found increased, then trigger a variable clue found message. And that would only work for 1 frame, by the way. So when that happens, let me display they're independent pages. So, yeah, you want to say 1 out of 5 pages found? It's just scrap papers, and they're not linked together. They're just I made them in a way so that it makes sense what it's saying, even though it's torn apart. So they're not linked together. Because if they were linked, I could have them on the same page and appearing at the correct position, you know, like a puzzle. But I don't have that, so it's better to say scrap papers found. Alright, so so I'll have parentheses and then say global clues found plus. Don't forget, when you're adding numbers like this, don't forget the space. No, we don't need a space here actually. Alright, so this total of 5. Close the parentheses. Oh well, what am I even doing? monsters found. And just to make it a bit more interesting, I will include a color alterator, color yellow. And then here I'll make it white again, so we can highlight the number that you found. Color white. Alright, and that will be for 5 seconds. Oh, maybe 7. This doesn't harm to be there. Else this false. Right. And I want to display that half a screen down. And then to the right. Three out of 4 screens. Space. Alright, let's see. If the player doesn't find out achievements that they know they need to look for more. Yeah, exactly. Well, I will have a main menu which will list all achievements and how to find them. So that would well, I don't even have to do that now because the only achievement is those clues, but I was thinking the initial idea was that maybe you could do the glitch thing when you're close to one, so it's like there are glitches in the simulation environment. Fun. Yeah, well, where am I seeing this? The thing is that oh, that's interesting bug. Alright, yeah, I fixed this or no? I think I fixed this after 9 seconds. Yeah, alright. So basically, what I want to say, oh yeah, the way they're made, let's see if it works first. Alright, looks a bit strange because it's on top of it. I should have used a space. The way they're made, as you can see here. Oh yeah, by the way, if I press it again it won't show up. It's only when I find the new clue that it will show up. They look like old pages, so I cannot have it be a glitch, even though that would be a really nice thing to do. But when I initially created them, I hadn't incorporated the glitch into the scenario, so these are still, so the basic explanation for these nodes is that they're all part of the simulation, and then they're trying to make you get the monster out of yourself, so that you can test that, so that they can test how it looks and how you react and everything. So all these are just clues that they are there just to make you feel, just to make you transform basically. Hello, what's in it? Omale Vixerello. Sorry if I'm saying this wrong. So yeah, everything is part of their plan to test the transformation basically. So they want to give you hints about some monsters that they transform, and they're inside this prison and their brain is messed up and everything, just to give you the whole idea that yeah, you need to do the same basically. And strange fact, you see this cell? This is actually your cell, but you will never get, it's not obvious, but oh yeah, it has a small message as well. So basically you transformed and broke those, but the game doesn't make it so obvious because you start here, yet you're the only one outside and everything is locked. The 5 clues say yeah, it will be cool, right, to have a free stuff and more stuff to play. So basically all the clues say what I just said, like about some people transforming and their brains are messed up, and the king is playing and using us and their transformations for his own enjoyment, let's say, so we can fight each other. So that's why they keep us like wild beasts inside this prison, so the king can spawn them and have them fight in their transformed versions. So that's basically it. But basically it's the part of the experiment to just awaken your whole transformation thing. Alright, so let's fix the message for a second. So the thing I didn't like, where is it, was that here we're missing a space. There we go. And this has to be 10. I like achievements to display for more time. Alright, so since this is ready, we can actually trigger the secret ending straight away after we finish the polder stage. I thought that wasn't ready. Anyway, alright. So progression info is done. When crouching, all overlaps. Oh, yeah, right. So for this, we need to take our character from the start and move it to this point here. Here. Cannot see. Alright, so here. Come on. There we go. Okay, so we'll leave it here. So the thing was that because I was crouching, I was overlapping this guy here. So I'm just gonna raise it just a bit. I still have to show that this is a destroyed part of the game, but I don't want him to overlap, but I don't want him to be able to cross without crouching. Well, that will not be revealed. We will not know why they're using you that way. Okay, I think it works well now. Right, let's see. Oh, what? I immediately crouched when going. I'm not even sure I coded this. That's funny. So he immediately crouches after you go below things. That's interesting. Right, but I don't want him to do that. That's just the same though, because it looks cool. It automatically crouches. Wait, do I have B to stand up, or is it just B to crouch? So this thing will not be revealed because the whole point of view being used is that you get to feel that you're inside the loop. I'm not sure if I'm gonna make it even more in depth than just being in a loop. Hey Quizmaster, how's it going? But basically, since you switch to the second iteration of yourself, which is number 65, then the whole point is that you realize you're inside the loop. So what I'm gonna do is, you see this character? That's basically 63. So you're 64, and when you get the secret ending, this will be this guy. So you will see yourself crawl in front of you, and you will be number 65. Yeah, but still, it's an educational thing, you know. Do you guys want to know the secret ending? Fine, but it's not really hard to trigger it as well. You just have to get the 5 papers, so it's not really so secret. Like, the original plan was to have some other achievements that you had to complete in order to get that secret ending, but I think it's a bit better to have it very accessible for everyone, so everybody can experience it. Because again, as I said, like I was planning to have a brick here that you could press and it will open a secret room, and then you get an achievement for finding a secret room, but not really a lot of people would find that, you know. And I don't want to restrict the secret ending only to just 1 or 2 people like I did with a simple task. I want this to be more of an open experience, that people that enjoy the game get to see something more, you know, not just rush through and be done with it. So it's more of an appreciation ending rather than a secret ending. Alright, I think if I turn this block like this, maybe it won't auto crouch. Let's see. Yeah, alright, so we don't auto crouch now, it's a good thing. And then we have to press B. Oh my god, it overlaps though. It's a kind of a double-edged knife. Alright, let's I know this is based on the word down or down. Let's see, because it has in its code it says if the player is down from you, yeah, objects below. Yeah. Now here's a question. If anybody knows this, it will be super awesome. Do you guys know that objects below is object relevant or word relevant? Because if it's objects relevant, then I cannot rotate the object upside down, because it would totally fit the occasion, because it would not make me just crouch, auto crouch. But if it's word, then it will work, if you get what I mean. Because right now its below position is here. Ah, well, that's super useful for me then, because if it's word relevant, then that will work. Because the small gap from the one side, the small just inclination towards the inside, is what makes it auto crouch. So let's see. Oh no, it's even worse. Let me raise it a bit. Yes, I could, but the thing is, yeah, you have 2, right? Well, I don't know. I could do that if I don't come up with a solution. That's a good one. I could easily just use a primitive cube as well. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. Give me a second. Not sure how to fix this, but I just have to go here maybe and change word and then press test maybe. Yeah, I get where you're saying. Alright, cool, it works. So now it's still overlapping. I just need to find the right height first, and once I do that, we'll figure out. Maybe here. I can also change the crowd's height, so I can easily just make him crouch more or less. Now, why are you doing this to me? It's showing me a white screen for some reason. Alright. Yeah. I think that's it overlaps here. Alright, I'll make it. Alright, let me see. You know what? These guys here, I need to make them not collidable. Alright. Okay, I'll just make it straight and I didn't like to be straight though, because it doesn't look like it has fallen over, but I guess I have to leave it like this. Damn it, no. I won't settle. I will make it like this. And then I'll do what you just said. Thing is though, actually, I'm an idiot. I should have done it in a different way. I'll do it the way you just said. So basically I'm gonna add this guy here, make him invisible, destroy this guy, and simply, oh well, wait, I know my mind's not working correctly today, I guess. And then have this guy be visible and with no brain, and have him be wherever I want him to be, like this. Alright, so I'll destroy this one a bit. I'll just add it here. And we're done. Oh, and to make this non-collidable, it's already okay, fine. Alright, so I cannot pass. If I crowds, everything's okay. Oh, it's even nice. So I can only pass from here. What? Oh, right. Yeah, I didn't make it non-collidable, which is a good thing actually, because you cannot overlap now. Oh, that's great. Alright, one thing I want to do is instead of having I'm gonna increase this guy's sensor radius, and the reason to do this is because I want to include both standing up and crouching at the same message. So instead of saying press this button to crouch, say toggle crouching. So this will insist after crouching so that you can press the same button to stand up. Because you may crouch accidentally, then don't know how to stand up. Alright, and the second one is a sound when crouching. So I think I'm gonna use the same one I used in the cutscene, because that was a really good sound. The material cornstalk, whatever it's called. Okay, let's find the crouching mechanism. So this is the one. There's a boolean somewhere called crouching. There we go. So every time this happens, no, actually no, that's wrong. We want the same sound even if he stands up, so it's better to include it here. So play sound. Let's go into the corn material again. I think it will work everywhere, and overlap. Overlap makes it play over itself if needed. It's always useful to have something that you can trigger very fast, be in overlap, remember that. So let's see. So now if I crouch, you will hear the sound. And I also made an icon in a past episode, so what? Oh, for some reason it interacts when I press B, and it also goes outside of the window, which I have to fix. But the interaction I have to fix, because I use A for interaction. I think that's because I think I've left some remapping. Alright, let's see. Oh. Okay, so interact is here. So B pressed. What? No. So A or left mouse. Alright, I'll add space just in case somebody only plays with keyboard, although that's impossible, I think. And don't forget without controller remapping, otherwise, well, it's the same as A, so oh yeah, I forgot that space remaps to A, so I didn't have to use that. But I did say without keyboard remapping, so I could have just removed this down. Anyhow, whatever, let's continue. Okay, so somewhere crouching is done. You can't run like this. Oh yeah, that was a message from the alter ego in the first big cutscene. Say you can't run. Well, I want to change this into you can't run like this, which indicates that he has to transform. So I'm gonna go to this cutscene here, I'm gonna find it, hope for, yeah, there you go, you can't run. So I'm gonna rename this to you can't run like this. Alright, yeah, you're right, I forgot to change the message on the window. And alright, I'll take your advice, since you told me that this is what most games do. Then so it's like to toggle crouch or to crouch as I had it before. this for now. Alright, so we fixed the message. Reduce radius thrown around. Okay, so there was another issue that toggle crafts. Alright, cool, yeah, thanks. So here, if I switch to the in-game skybox, which is pitch black sky, as you can see there's an ambient light here, and that comes from this room. So I have to go here. If I find the light, where's the light? Where are you, light? Oh, there we go. And I have to reduce the radius into, I don't know, 15 maybe. Alright, let's see if it still does that. Yeah, I think it's good now. I cannot see anything. Alright, let's switch back to day. Alright, so we're cool here. Man on the wall is standing. Ah, yeah. So this is like a small Easter egg. If you guys like adding Easter eggs in games, I like doing stuff like that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this guy. So this guy is actually two characters put together and a skull. As you can see, I can decapitate him. Okay, so we don't want that. I do want that. Alright, so basically the Easter egg is that this guy is standing here by default, but when you open the door, this guy will be in the wall here when you find him, and the only way to see him like this is to go through this door and pick like this. So if you pick from this door, you'll see this guy like this, and he will have no head. So that's the whole Easter egg. So if you manage to see him without the head, then you'll know that he was dead before you even reach this point, before you just interact with him and he gets decapitated. Alright, so the only thing I need to do for this guy, since he doesn't have too much on him apart from the logic, which I'm going to delete, so the only thing I need to do is in this logic, I think it's somewhere here. So, oh yeah, it's this one. Alright, no, it's not this one. Where is it? Must have some logic cube here. Alright, so when he has power, I will simply say destroy that character. Destroy this guy. And we want that to happen only once. So this is like a small Easter egg that I just want to include. When girl is running to hit play. Wait, let me read this right. When girl is running to hit play. To hit player, alright? Physics set character. Alright, yeah. So there was a point. Let me grab the character first, because this is far into the game. So let's skip to the part. I think we left him where the crowds was. It was here. Right, let's grab him and move into that part. So there's a part where the girl hits you in the head and you wake up later. It's here. Alright. So when that happens, she has if you go into her physics, she has fixed physics, which means she will float into the air. but if she moves outside of the pedestal, she's floating in mid-air. It looks weird if you notice it. So what I'm gonna do is, at the time where she moves towards the player, it is, it's fine, yeah, this one. So move towards the player. So this time I will change her physics. That equals to character. I think I have this somewhere here, but no. Anyway, so I'll do this just so she can bump the correct level. One thing I have to be careful is that she's off in collidable, otherwise she will bump the player and get stuck, maybe, in some cases. So it's always good to have it off in cutscenes. Alright, let's test, see how it looks, because that needs testing, so I can cross it. Alright, so we're here. One thing I noticed is that there was one thing that I want to do initially, and it's this. I'll make this 6, because as you saw, the camera snapped to the ground before closing the eyes, so that's because the character was destroyed and the camera couldn't focus on that target anymore, so it snapped to the ground. So by delaying the distraction to 2 more seconds, it will not snap. Oh, it did. Oh wow. I think that's because we switched cameras and not because it gets destroyed. So because we switched the spades, for some reason we lose the camera. Maybe because in this spades we had focus on that target, and this one we don't have it. So there you go. But we have to be careful. We need this only for, let's say, 3 seconds. And I will increase it to 1 more second, because it looks like it's too sudden when this guy speaks to himself. There we go. That was more smooth than the other one. Alright, so now I have to do something that breaks the game actually, and I haven't fixed it yet. And that is to have the torts, to get the torts here. So since I incorporated a similar logic in the beginning of the game where you get the torts, it's easier to just grab that one. But the thing is, this one will not work the same as the one I need. So first of all, we need to trick that one to be more generic. Okay, let's see. So not global has torts interacted. Oh, alright, so apparently it is modified for the version I wanted it for. Can't remember what I do these things anyway. Right, so I guess, okay, this glue to this guy. It's not. I'll just grab this guy. The base is easy to add anyway. Alright, so this needs to be in the area where we'll wake up. It's just this area here. So instead of the lit torches that do nothing, I'll have the base be detached from this guy, and not this little puppies. So the reason I wanted it modified is that if you have the torch already, okay, we don't need this. If you have the torch already, then you cannot get another torch. So that would look weird. But you can get any of these 4 torches after I modify it, of course, and it will work. So I will only leave the base prop and delete the actual torch. Right, and then grab this guy, copy it 4 times. Oh, that's gonna be pain. Alright, no worries. What we can do is, because their center of rotation is not working for us, I'm just gonna attach it to the base and then turn that. So we don't need the bases. All your base belongs to us. Alright, so after you get the doors, you'll be able to continue into the other room. But first I have to make sure that if you don't get the torch, you cannot see, therefore you cannot go on. Because I tried without the torch and it's just impossible to beat the game without the torch. So I will simply add a primitive cube here. Make it invisible. And say has torch collidable equals off. But I have to make this global. And say else collidable equals true. And we're done. Wait, what? Yeah. Alright. Oh, actually, you know what? Maybe if you don't have a torch, let's just shoot a message saying I need the torch, I cannot see, and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna grab some logic from this pot and say interacted. No, interacted. Let's say bump global layer. Create message, say it's too dark to see, and then 5 seconds and we're done. So let's test this out. and that is because there is a debug mechanism that automatically gives me torts if I'm not in the beginning of the game. Let's find and disable that real quick. Excellent, ignore tiles and only go here. I don't like the fact that when he stands up, he overlaps the ground a bit, so I will fix that too. The easy way to fix it is just set his physics to fixed instead of character, and just raise him up a bit, so he gets he stands up in midair, but you cannot see, because as you can see now the lower bottom of the screen is overlapping. Oh, what? Right, let's test this and I'll fix it. So it's too dark to see. Right, so that works. Can I grab this guy? No, I cannot. Alright, that's weird. Why can't I? Oh, yeah, I know why. Because I forgot to detach them. I detach them to the base just to move them around, but they shouldn't be attached, otherwise it won't work. It's not here, it's here. So all I have to do is detach this guy. Global has started and interacted. Okay, cool. So that's that. There's spawn. Right. So apparently we spawned this guy, right? And his camera should have without controls, otherwise it's a game breaking, and I forgot this. So that's one thing. That should probably fix the reason we are overlapping as well. So let's test again. Hey guys, do you know, oh, it seems like it's overlapping even worse now. Do you know the stream they did, the Defofield tutorials? Because I really need to see those. I don't even know how it works. I need to add some Defofield. Yeah, when you get knocked out, and I saw that too. It looks a bit better because it's like. But when it gets up, it looks a bit weird because yeah, it definitely overlapped half of the ground now. And okay, yeah, that is more cinematic because it does the same animation as the beginning. But I have to raise him a bit so it doesn't overlap the ground. Okay, let's see. So now you can take the torch, and if you go into another one, nothing happens. Alright, cool. And now you can move on. We can move on. Wait, what? What's happening? Why? Oh, I get it. Alright, you know what? I will simply... where is it? I will simply destroy this guy if you get the torch, because as you saw, I use a raycast to do the whole I don't know how to explain it, but if you get closer to a wall, then it raycasts and it understands that you're really close to a wall. So instead of having the torch overlap the wall, it just puts the torch really close to you, and that affects this cube here because we lose the effect while we're inside passing. So I will simply say destroy here, because we don't want to lose the visual effect when crossing this cube after we get a torch. Alright, so now I will re-enable the get torch in the debug menu so we can continue. And the next section has a lot of things we need to fix, so let's get over it. Let's play it. Alright, so we have this. We need to also move the player. Where's the player? He's here. Oh yeah, we forgot to fix the standing up. Let's do that first. So this guy is a bit higher. And where is this? Oh. This guy has fixed physics. And why is he collidable? It doesn't need to be. Alright, I think it's too much. Maybe a bit less, like this. And I think that'll fix it. I don't see any specific things. Alright, you know what? Here's a trick. Here's what we're gonna do. Come on. Okay, so here, press screenshot. Let's see what happened. Well, where's this head pointing at? It's pointing this way. So it's not the ground that actually overlaps him, it's the pedestal. So, so I think if we twist a bit this guy, as you can see, there is a bit of a gap in the position here now. So all I have to do is grab this and just twist it a bit. And I think we're cool. Let me go grab some water. Oops. Just let me know if it works. Yeah, it needs a bit lifting. There we go. I think it will work now. I think the issue is that this guy, the camera is a bit too forward. Normally it would be here, but I added here for some reason. Yes, what is that? It doesn't even make a valid URL. Yeah, I understood that. Alright, I think this is done. Alright, let's continue now on the next section. So the next section is a bit more unfinished, so we'll have more stuff to do. Let's continue here. This is when we wake up. So we have the torch. Oh yeah, that's an offset. Yeah, I know what you mean. Well, if I see that because the height of the player is based on that cutscene mess, if I see there is a height difference when he spawns the player, like when you get the actual controls, if I see that, then I will do the modifier. I will do the offset as well. Okay, so we go here. We don't lose the VFX anymore. So we're in this room now. We light everything up. Get the static. Oh, let me write something down. It's not really an Easter egg, it's just a small thing I want to do. Alright. So we have this room, we can lit the candles if we want. This one was already lit. And I think it plays a message if you interact. Yeah. Alright, let's get the key. And here is the full, hopefully the full part till the ending. It's the first time I get to play it because I didn't have the torch ready. So let's see it. I see what happens. Alright, so that's as far as the game goes for the normal ending. I haven't created the ending screen yet, and so two things, actually three things, actually four things we have to fix with the section. Write everything down. Alright, so first things first, I want to do a little just a detail here. So in this picture, I'll have it be normal, and I set a trigger zone here that creates a static. As you can see here, creates just that visual effect that looks like static in the screen. So when that happens, I want the picture to go upside down, just instantaneously. So I'll say movement, we want the Z axis, so roll, and then say 90. So it will turn upside down. Just a quick look. Oh, thanks, Somali. So, as you can see, this picture of the castle, as soon as the static comes, then you will see it upside down. So let's see it. Oh, well, yeah, because I'm not really good at math, and my mind is not working, and obviously this shouldn't be 90 degrees, it should be 180. Alright, There we go. Key false. Alright, so we fixed that. Next thing, at the cutscene where you get pushed by this girl, I want to add a small position. Let's go clone that. I want to add a small effect on top where dust falls because the wall is broken. So there's too many classes. So I'll add another point called dust. The effect position. Actually, I'm not gonna add it inside this white thing because I won't be able to grab it afterwards. So I'm just gonna find the place where you see destroys the wall. Alright, so here, after 1 second, we'll play sample at position, and then we'll select this guy here. And I'll do this twice, just to increase the amount of effects happening. It's a good effect. So I'll just place it somewhere here. Alright, let's see how it looks, if it's obvious and if it looks good. Otherwise we need to tweak its position. There we go. Oh no, I forgot to set the duration of the effects because it plays all the time and we cannot see the character. So this will be, I don't know, for 2 seconds. And here just for 1 second, just so we can see it. Oh, you're living. Alright, see you later, doctor. Another thing I just remembered is that when you come to this point here, it says run and run like twice. So I will make this just have this guy be east, which is the position the run with big letters is placed right now, and I will remove the other one. that sound effect exists already, so we only need it once. Alright, that's done. Now let's move into another section which is a bit game breaking. So I'm gonna grab the player again. So apparently the freak has to spawn in the door below, but it doesn't do that. So I guess we have to, but it only happens if I have the player see the full cutscene. So we have to test doing that first. Unfortunately, this section requires a lot of testing, so it might take the rest of the time. So he has to spawn here. I think there's something related with those collision boxes that makes him not spawn well. So I will simply tweak them. The reason I placed him in the first place was because he got stuck in the little edges here when he spawned. So I'm gonna place those to avoid that. What if I place him here? Wouldn't that be better? Anyway, that's that. Let me check the logic one more time before I test, in case I missed something. So create a distraction. Destroy the freak. And we'll recreate it. The position. Alright. We set this physics to character. And it's forward. Alright, yeah, sure. So you push this away from door. Yeah, that's a debris flying out. Oh, he's emoting. That's why I cannot see him. Alright, let's ignore that and see what happens. I just noticed something else also. Oh, okay, so he gets destroyed. Yeah, let's test. So this is the tutorial box for stating the player that you should crouch while running, pressing B. It's a decent place to leave it. Alright. I'm trying to find out why this guy doesn't get recreated. Seems to be something wrong with him. I also don't want to recreate him all the time because it's a heavy character. But since it's a template, then I guess I can do that, right? Although the coders will admit how bad I am at code for not figuring this out the right way, but I'll do it like this. See if that fixes things. Doesn't it create this guy? Not sure what happens. Alright, so let's place the player near this position, see if it does create this guy. Because if that's the case, then it's something else. So he gets graded if he's here, but he doesn't get graded if the game has its full run. And that is weird. Okay, you know what? Just to force him to be recreated, I will let him attack me, and then I will respond to see if he does respawn again. I think there is a logic here that this is what resets normally, but it looks like he gets graded again, which is cool. It's something else preventing him from being created, maybe something in here. It's a bit of a weird case because I was thinking whether to have him change position instead of recreating the damn thing, but if I have to do that I cannot debug later sections. But why is it doing this? Maybe this? Have oh, right, that's what happens. Interesting. So I will have to say, so basically this guy gets spawned on this position with this cutscene. So that's why we don't see him. Alright, so in order to cancel that, I will say this guy. Alright, so this broke the whole game and I didn't know why. Interesting. so I guess we won't experience that now. Where's the player? Okay, so he's here. So normally if I place him back, the cutscene begins. It is here. Then I think now it will be right. Yeah, actually I think I can. I am in mode. let me quickly get rid of it. Oh, what did I press? Damn it. Second. Oh. Looks like I can. Alright. I thought I had moderation privileges. I'm gonna ask later on how to do this. Anyway. So. Alright. Now everything should be alright. Oh yeah. By the way, I need to add some falling rocks, not only sand falling from there. It also looks too white. I need to change their color. Whoa. See that, dude. There we go. Yeah, whoa, he's still hunting me down. Yeah, cool. Oh, come on. Yeah, and that means he's quicker also. That was a huge relief fixing that bug. Took me ages to figure it out. Alright, let's continue. So we need to change the color of the dust because it's too white within the game. And an easy way to do this is to create a template with that V effect. I think it's called sand. Can see, and it's always good to see things in how they are intended to be seen. Just in this skybox. So I am going to change the color to something more subtle. Less, a bit more transparent, I guess. I'll name this dust. I don't know. Falling dust. Make it into a template, and then instead of creating the visual effect from the gallery as we did this one, I will simply select this guy. We also use that effect in this area here. Okay, now we need to change back to day so we can see. Where's the door? So So yeah, so here, there you go. So we have this thing up here. It's gonna switch it with this one. There we go. So that's that. Oh yeah, I also said that it's not that good to see falling dust for both of the effects. So in order to make it more, just add some variety. The first time you will see falling rocks, and the second time you will see the dust effect. So with that, unleash me plus sound. Alright, so the next one is when you get stabbed, well, whatever this monster just gets you, there's a moment where it says unleash me. If I can find the place, there we go. It says unleash me. Yes, it's this guy. So here I want an impact sound, because it's kind of you know, like sort of a twist, because you thought the character is dead and then you see the alter ego talking to you. So we need an impact. I need a bass impact. So I'm just gonna try something like. And to make it even more bassy, I'll add the tumble sounds. Tumble. There we go. So that happens. And another thing that I didn't like is so we are here. When we get into our transformation version, I need to go out with a big bang, so it's like I need him to shout when he gets transformed. So let's try to fix that. Right, so he gets created, he opens his eyes. Right, so I want after 1 second to play. Hopefully this won't lag the sounds, because voiceovers are a bit weird sometimes. But I want to play this guy everywhere with the beats of 5. And 0 beats. And beats of -5 altogether. I'll create some sort of freaky shout, you know. Not sure if it will work. Let's start to though. Well, let's see. If it doesn't, I'll just use the horizon tile.